May 26th is just, I mean, it's tomorrow. And a lot of what happened Saturday was really, nothing really changed much since June. What were we talking about in June? What did we talk about all year? Doing two things, basically. Win our conference, win our last game. I don't know if any of you stayed been second. It sucks. Doesn't feel good the day of, doesn't feel good the day after. I don't know if it really ever does. Winning your last game, smiles, everybody's happy. It's the last game of the year. Only 3 teams do it. Winning conference, which I think is a big deal, because it just lays the groundwork to a lot of the other goals. And winning your last game, I mean, it's good stuff, and that's what we talked about since June. And they did it. I mean, how many times do you set goals out for a season, a format, and you actually accomplish all of them? And it feels good. I always get a chuckle out of what a big deal the first game is. Do you even remember who we played? It was a long time ago, wasn't it? It was Astoria. At the moment, it's a big deal. Okay, long season. Stepping stones, which leads up to, in theory, playing well in February, March. That's what it's all about. So it was Astoria, and then we were on the road to. I don't think we've gone farther. I've never traveled farther than this year. Then we went back around to Seaside, then to Crook County. Whoa, that was an experience. Down to Cottage Grove, up to the Dalles to see LeGrand, over to Madras. It was a phenomenal traveling season. When you have teams that you think are going to do well, you know, every game's not a concern about a win-loss, and you know the wins are going to come. You know that this is good stuff because it's hard to travel. It's hard to travel on the road. It's hard on the road. Generally takes older teams, more mature teams to win on the road. There's just so many other distractions, so it makes you a little tougher, a little mentally tougher. Which I think all these little things go into last Thursday, Friday, Saturday. These small little things. Those road trips were brutal. Practices. Practices are tough. I write a new practice plan every day. I don't take last year's practice plans. I kind of rewrite them, and they immediately, and they're open to the book. There are no secrets. I kind of learned many years ago. I think you get a little bit more out of them if they know what's going on. And I've learned to also put the running at the start of the practice, so they get that one out of the way. And that's the first thing they're all looking for, if I'm correct. Yeah. They want to see if there's some aerobics. And their body language is very clear on whether they're happy or not. But even with that said, I mean, Alex, you've been around here for 4 years. I mean, can you remember a year that we've brought in so few boys? We practice against boys all the time. 2 or 3 times, maybe. Which speaks for the team, because I've always felt practice is very important. We try to be very organized. We try to move forward in practice, not spin our wheels. It's probably more intense in practice than the game sometimes. Practice is very important. And the key that all coaches are always trying to do is getting the intensity level of practice up. How far can you simulate game? That's hard to do. Bringing boys longer, quicker. You know, your best kids need to work really hard. Then in theory, you're getting better. We didn't. I can't remember a year. I have to go back so many years that we didn't. And I was asked this from other, but no, we're just pretty much going against ourselves. And I kind of Coach Turner kind of just crystallized this one to me. First game he was here, we're playing Banks. Pre-game, we're down there kind of just watching them thud it up a little bit. And he just goes, our twos are better than their twos. What he was basically saying was their second team, our second team kids, are better than their second team kids. We're going to beat them. And I kind of always had that thought, but he just kind of put it so simplistically. And that was this year. I mean, we could have taken number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and probably finished third or fourth in league. So, you know, you have to talk to the girls down there sometimes. You're on a very good team. You know, you'd be starting on a lot of teams around. They were starting on a team that played for third and state. Something to be said for that. So, tough preseason. Came through at 12 and 1. Had to do the you know, practices, they did a great job showing up for practices. I don't care, there's a number of you in here, I don't care how good Staten is, those 2 games are your biggest games of the year. And who's going to be tough? Staten's going to be tough. I don't care how good they are. It's devastating when you lose to them. Swept them twice, and did more than sweep them. I think for the underclassmen, you might have Hendrix's hit in your little pocket back there. But we imprinted on them. By imprinting, you'll make them remember this. Now, Melissa makes it hard because she's a great person, great coach. I really like her. I'd prefer not to. But great person, but they're young, and hopefully we put the thought in their head. But 10-0, beat Philomath twice. They swept us last year. Central was gone, but we did beat them earlier in the year, and then we beat Staten twice. Those were great games, always great victories. Playoffs. We pull Madras, which I thought was the tougher pull of all 8 teams. And we struggled with them tremendously over there. They have the kid, you know. Anytime a team has a kid, the Stakona kid's tough. There's always that potential there. We couldn't really press them, but we were ready for that. We practiced all year about getting into gnarly half-court O&D, and so in case people take that stuff out. So big game here. Had great support from our community, which we always do. Student body can be a little lame, but our community is phenomenally supportive. And we beat Madras, and we came out, we played well, we played crisp. We'd had 5 very good practices previous to that. We're in the tournament. That I saw them smiling after that one. That was one that they were all smiling pretty much. One of the rare ones. They're all beating themselves up or something. And that feels good. That felt good. And we followed that up with, I think, the two worst practices we had the entire year. They were horrendous. I could not believe what I was seeing. But I tried not to get too concerned, you know, we've got 85,000 practices behind us. But you kind of like to feel good going into the tournament. And Wednesday, we had we felt better about Wednesday's practice. Gladstone played us gnarly down here. They hadn't lost since we'd beaten them here. They were a good team. And so we open up with them. We know each other very well, which is not good. They were very physical with us, but we were athletic enough to overcome that. We went on a little O-run in the third quarter. And as this team did all this year, and this was really a characteristic of this team, we were always able to shut the opponent's best kid down. They always had to go to plan B. And most teams don't have a plan B. They were like, we had an A, a B, and a C, and probably a D if you throw in our prep or everything. But they've been able to take that kid out of the game all year, and that's not a one per person deal. We are huge on team defense. Some teams you watch, On ball gets beat, lay in. Rarely do you see that. Rarely do you see that. Somebody gets beat, boom, somebody's sliding over and taking them. But nobody gets just a freebie going to the bucket. So it's definitely team defense. We practice that a lot. That was a good win, and we kind of got where we wanted to be. I mean, maybe the other brackets seeing them in the championship game, but we got a shot at Sutherland. And I thought we could kind of match up with them back in June. My own little private world. Talk to these guys about it a little bit. That I think we can match up with them. Not sure, but I think we can. So we got a shot at it. The big dogs, nobody can beat them. Blah blah. Came out, played a great first quarter. Welcome to athletics. That's why you play the game. Played a great first quarter. But they're a great team. And they made us look terrible. Second and third quarter. 24-0 board, 16 points off of those. And lo and behold, there we are in the game with 4 or 5 minutes to go. We played them tough. Didn't play them with our best game. But we played them tough, and they beat us. Gave them a good fight for their money. Put us into right where we still want to be. Win our last game. And we lost to the team that's going to probably take it. DC was tall, they were long, they're physical. We just got pounded on the boards the day before. That was their game. Interior, attack, be physical. And we played a great game. And for you young ones back there, you teach your daughters stuff for 15 years. Because you hope it works that one time. One time they hit gravel. Or the one time, you're not working on this stuff for daily stuff. Danielle and I, we practice shooting every day. There she is down there. And where is she shooting from? Baseline. One hand down. Shooting. They're all over the place, But, there are some good ones there. I go, do you feel that one? She goes, yeah, I feel that one. Here, that one didn't feel good. Then she makes one. Yeah, I feel that one. I got that. Okay, we want more of those. And she just just the hardest working kid. And and then game comes around and basket's there. She's looking here. Had kind of gotten a little shell shock on shooting. So, but that's okay. I mean, she did a lot of other good things for us. But man, that baseline 50, that's where for 3.5 months. Yeah. So here we come out to Valley Catholic, and we haven't seen Boxing One. They don't know what they're going against half the time. So lo and behold, there they are, Boxing One. We score here and they score there, and we score here and they score, and then we kick it down to the baseline. And I haven't talked to her. I don't know what I've been meaning to ask her this. It's kind of personal, so I don't know if she's going to be able to say anything or not. How did you feel? You have to feel good. How did you feel when you were in?
I don't know.
You feel good inside? I mean, that brought him out. Because Alex, I think, had knocked one or two down. Alex may have been able to shoot him out of it. I don't know. I think Alex knocked one or two down. I think somebody else hit one. But it was those two baseline jumpers. Took time out. Down with the Boxing One. Because that can get a little gobbledygooky sometimes. But those were, and that was 3.5 months. Nothing, zero, nothing, not going to shoot, looking the opposite way, going to pass it. And we talked about going into the game, because the night before, only 3 people really were doing much. If you're open, shoot the ball. Because we talked about what the difference is, shooting and throwing. Shoot the ball. If you're open, shoot the ball. Danielle being, Danielle, she wants to follow the rules, and we said, shoot the ball. But no, God, that was in timeout. They're out of the Boxing One, and the game continues. But just these little things that you constantly are pounding, That's the reward. Boom. Just right there. 3 minutes. It's all done. Big deal though. So great win after that. A lot of warm fuzzies and giggles, and I could yak some more on the bus rides, but I think we'll hit the grape world down the line here. She doesn't know.
We're gonna hit the
All right, girls, I'm gonna call you up.
Oh, I get it.
I'm gonna call you up
I get it.
and stay up here. Hang out.
Keeps moving around so much.
Miss Cheyenne Robbins. First again!
First again. Yay.
They're gonna get their letter and their OSA participatory certificate. Get on down there, Shy. Transferring in high school is a tough gig. I feel for any high school kids because stuff is already made and whatnot, but sports is a great way to break that down. And I think Kayla, was it like first day of school? I don't know. Kayla brought Cheyenne health classroom. Remember? Yeah. Came in, Steven, Cheyenne Robin, she wants to play basketball. And that was my first introduction to Cheyenne. She had such a great attitude because her junior year was just a beast on the JV team. But pretty much came up and didn't play much on the varsity side. And this year during summer, boy, the door opened during summer and just boom, she took advantage of the opportunity. Brought a real physicality to the game, which she stamped at Silverton. I told her to stop. I mean, I turned around, there's this girl on the floor. And I missed exactly as I turned back around, there's this poor girl on the floor. Timeouts and teams, and I go, what happened? Stevens, I told her to stop. And so I'm sure the picture after that was, but she was, I told her. But brought a real physicality to the game, and anybody that remembers her free throws from her JV year and her free throws to this year, wow. I think we both would look, wow. And brought the same effort in practice. In fact, I think she got a few snarls sometimes because mellow down. I'm just trying, So I talked about not bringing boys in this year. That was kind of the reason why. Jack, great job. Hey, you got them both. Miss Kayla.
Told you.
Boy, that Luca Jarvie house, I don't know what you do, but man, they are on it. I often call her mommy. I don't know what the home game was. What was the home game? What was the home game? Where we had Kayla and four of those people. 4 young ones out on the floor. We have no clue what's going on. And she's pointing to one of them, and you're over here. You're guarding, and she's just going to town. What game is that? YC. Okay. And where I'm going, very responsible. Kayla, next Wednesday at 4:45 in practice, we want to talk about this. Next Wednesday at 4:44. Mr. Stevens, you said that. Wow. And you heard her speak up here. Late starter in the game. Tremendous worker. She won't remember this, but kind of really stamped her in my thoughts. JV game, it's over there. She dives for a ball and both elbows. There's no breaking of the fall. She's got the ball and both elbows. There's not a lot on those elbows. Both elbows hit the floor and woo. That had to have registered. Held the ball, kicked it out to somebody, up, off shoot she went. She can play. Brought a real maturity part to the team. I mean, I tell all the girls, be young, enjoy high school. I think when Kayla's ready to go. And she's just an older with the kid. Colleen, Mrs. Forcier, who probably has the hardest job in school, ran the Hall of Fame auction. Would not let her leave her side. Kayla was she's my helper. And she's she's tagging everything. I mean, it's just, when I get on, if you want something done right, ask these people. I mean, who's the TAs? I had 2 boy TAs, and we put all this stuff up on the board, and like every piece of it was wrong. I don't know if one of you, if any of you were involved, to get 2 girls redo this stuff. It's all correct. That happens all the time. But yeah, Kayla just very mature, great mind on her hip. You heard Coach Hine referring to Lex, just great, just with it. Just remembers stuff and just is a good model for the kids to follow and not afraid of doing that one. But very good job. Great career here. Miss Emma. It's good handshake. Emma, along with Kayla, we're captains. I don't think she's ever missed a practice. I don't know. I don't know why I say this. I don't have it written on the cards, but I always went with the silent assassin. She's very quiet, but this year, last 2 years, but also with that said, usually quiet kids are not opinionated. But Izza has an opinion, which is good. And was very level-headed about things. Was not very biased by things. Could kind of cut through all that and get down to the reality of it. Didn't let the exterior stuff bother or bias her opinions of things. Valued her opinion because it always came unbiased. She didn't have other agendas. She kind of told it the way it was, and those are valuable opinions. Particularly when you get them from the player's standpoint, so it's sometimes hard to get those out of them. I thought kind of along with Kayla, had a calming presence. She never let me bother her, and I think she calmed the other ones down sometimes when they were a little, what's he about? So I had a very calming practice, and I think in games also. Loved her baseline jumper. I think everybody kind of on our team understood that, because we go shell drills where you gotta stop people or you get penalized and so on and so forth. And liked her baseline jumper, and people knew that. So yeah, Emma did a great job. Has been with us all the way through. Yeah, thank you, Emma. Yeah, we saved her from cheerleading by I think this. Alex Biddington. Should I start with competitive? Go that world a little bit. Just gnarly competitive. Which is good. That's a good thing. But had to kind of bring it down a notch and did a much better job this year of kind of controlling that a little bit more and just ingratiating the other players a little bit. I think she made us, as a team, play better. She expanded her game tremendously. I mean, her assists quadrupled from last year. Was basically our number one on-ball defender. I mean, you're asking a lot out of kids when you want them to check the on-ball. Then on the other end, we also want you doing this. I mean, that's a lot of work. And I think we didn't need the girls to play large minutes very often this year. But the few times we did, I think she logged in a couple 30 or 32-minute games. That's being in shape. We run up and down quite a bit. very driven, very competitive girl. I mean, yeah, it keeps coming back to that, and puts the time into it. Doesn't just yak it. She does it, get it, and it paid off. It doesn't always do that, but had a great year and has accumulated a lot of individual honors, and is going to take her skills down to OIT next year and have some fun down there playing hoops. So yeah, Alex, that's it. Miss Alyssa. Alyssa is a person that just keeps getting better when she practice. It's just, and I talked to somebody today, and I put this as one of the characters of the team, is we got better as the year went along. I mean, we didn't have any of those months where we just spun our wheels. And Alyssa as an individual is very, she needs some reps under her belt, but she gets better doing that. And she continues that all year. She's one of the few. I mean, it's just, the guys stay after and do stuff. The girls, in practice, they're gone. It's just kind of the way they do things. But Alyssa would always stay after and usually shoot free throws. And again, this is, I mean, Coach Louder was usually the one rebounding for, which helped things out. Has, I mean, her best asset probably just is her all-around game. I mean, she's long, she's pretty intense on the floor. As you know, those double fouls, you know why she's getting those, right? I mean, he tells them, he's right back up. He's right back up. He's right back up. And then he gets frustrated, double foul, because I can't really call it on her, but I don't know what to do, so I'll call it double foul. We'll call it persistence, not stubbornness. It's persistence, okay. Very confident on the floor and very IQ-y on the floor. She can come to the bench and she has specific things that are going on, actual movement things that are going on. And that's not just this isn't working or why is she open. She sees why the people are open, and that's good stuff. But again, very competitive, long, good all-around game. And definitely gets a return from her practice time. So, thank you. Goofball. Peyton.
Oh my god.
I've had Peyton in class, I think, about every try. The Peyton I know is. That's the Peyton I know. Coach Louder comes up to me and tells, I should have busted this joke, and she said this today, and she's laughing, and all of these people, she's so funny. And then she tells me she was 8th grade was funniest 8th grader. I get her in my, usually it's by D, had her for T. I mean, I had her TA, and I didn't know she was there. Slides in at 8. Should we call it 8? 8-ish. Don't even know she's there. She just kind of have her by D. The only way I can find where she's at is I look where the boys are. Oh, there's 5. Oh, there's Peyton. Okay, got it. They just love teasing her. She seems to be their favorite target. But there's all this humor. But I don't even know Peyton from that. Peyton and I got some history. She's kind of our Peyton. I will call her our mystery girl. I've had both of her brothers, and I'm not telling you anything they wouldn't tell you. Lazy, but very athletic. Peyton is athletic, and this has been since 7th grade. Oh, she's really athletic, but she's last in line drills. She's really athletic, but blah, 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 blah. This year, I don't know. We'll see. I think we kind of got, maybe she's like, we're seeing some want to out of her finally. And I've told her, we're losing Alex. Losing Alex.
Oh, I need to shoot.
Who's our shooter next year? She's got a nice shot. She just needs to be refined a little bit. We saw some nice glimpses of her this year. But yeah, very talented, and we're gonna try to reel her in to see. Did you say her like sweaty routine, or meaning she like was getting after a little bit? Yeah, Peyton, very good. Thank you, Peyton. Sure. First, there we go. Good shake. There we go. I think we saved her from cheerleading by about that much too. I have to pee too. She was just the happiest kid. Somebody scored. Just as pure night happiness. It was just, it was kind of cool. When I brought a couple of the younger kids up, and I kind of knew the spot they were going to be in, I think I had them talk to Crystal and Danielle, because they were in that spot last year. I mean, it's hard. Blacks are kind of always the main, those are the people I'm watching. That's what we're working on, is whatever black is, that's what we're working on. And it's tough being white a lot. Sometimes it's white all practice. I remember one time, she went home sick. We had a late practice. I mean, this is a kid that's going to be white all practice. Girls don't break rules. If it's a rule, she's not breaking it. Went home early sick. That's just go back. Comes sick, comes back. Practices 2 hours all white. Heads home. Wow, that's impressive. But with that said, Danielle and Crystal went up to a clinic in October, and something they've heard 22 times, but this coach or this player, whoever, this mouth that it came out of, it hit home. If you do like these half an hour, 45 minutes of drills for 3 weeks in a row every day, you'll get better. New news. But this moment, this time, they took it to heart. This is during volleyball. Gyms are not open a lot. They found a gym every day at some point in time, 6 o'clock tonight, 3 o'clock over at the junior high for 21 days. And I don't know if it's just those 21 days in a row, but just way better. I mean, when I'm always interested in seeing the coaches that haven't seen them all the time come in. I try not to say too much, just let them watch what's out there on the floor. And I mean, she went to being basically kind of sort of on the radar last year to starting this year. So, just great job, Danielle. Thank you. Crystal, it's your turn. Okay.
That's kind of how this
We gotta give her some mean pills or something, okay? Because if she throws the ball right to the girl, boom, right here, goes through her hands. Sorry. Playing D on somebody, she misses it. Sorry. Just does not want to cause problems for anybody, is very apologetic, and gets both of them, but Crystal so nervous for games. Very nervous. And hopefully they're going to be a year older next year, and maybe we can take her off the ball. Get very nervous. And Crystal was one of the girls 21 days in a row. Get better. Her kind of main gig was, last year during spring, we kind of goofed around a little bit, and she just shoots the ball better on the move. She's not a catch and shoot girl. She's a catch, put it on the floor, pull up, old school, something we saw 15 years ago. The 12-foot pull up jumper, which was kind of her specialty right there. Just works her tail off like a lot of them, does exactly what's asked of her. don't know if you guys, I love coaching girls. I mean, I coached football for a million years. And so I've been on both sides of the plate. These girls are mentally tougher. Hey guys, sorry, but sorry. Mentally tougher. And Laura, our trainer, will contest to physically tougher. I'm speaking her words. Am I not? Yeah. Yeah, definitely team first. Team first girl, Crystal, definitely. And I'll coach, I don't know forever, but I get these kind of girls, it's not even work, it's too easy. Yeah. Thank you, Crystal.
She has to pee.
They're trying to be quiet now. They're trying to be quiet. Put her up here and I'll be like a tornado. What up? Freshman. Wow. Nice jeans. Okay. Matt, Lizzie. All right, Lizzie did a great job this year, and she was what kind of, you know, you never know how things are going to go. You kind of root for people, and you try to step back and try to keep unbiased eyes and put the best group out. You know, she had that tough job this year. She's what Danielle did, and Crystal, and who else has been in that world? It's been, Shy was there a little bit. I think your sophomore year you got pretty much all white, weren't you, Kayla? Kayla, I said Kayla. Your sophomore year? Yeah, it's hard. It's, you know, when you're the girls getting all the accolades, it's not quite as hard. When you're one of the others, it is hard. And again, I don't know if she missed the practice. She would sometimes go over to practice with the JVs because we wanted to get her more reps with just our sets. Then, whoop, back over she'd come to us. I think has a nice skill set. It sounds like she's going to keep working on a left hand, got a right hand, can get into a rhythm on the shot, and loves hoops. Just sophomore, so we'll see what's in the mix this summer, but does a great job and is very committed to the game, and you're always going to find a place for those kind of girls. Yeah, thank See, it's good when they're scared. They don't speak. See, I'm already losing some of them. Well, I did catch them off a sporting event, so some of them are, you know, you know, it's just, so for years in the future, you always want to dress nice. I'm telling you, those two. It's loud on us sometimes. I'm not a loud fan. Kelsey, come on up. Good. There you go. Kelsey. Okay, my top word here is grapes. We'll come back to that. Loud is number 2. We've covered that one. Last summer, brought her up maybe 2 times, 3 times, and all I kept telling the coaches, you feel her on the floor. I mean, you put her in, you feel her. Positive, negative, everybody knows she's out there. She's tipping it, she's grabbing it, left-handed lay-in, knocking somebody down. But she was just always doing something, and that's a good thing. When you're being noticed, that's a good thing. And so that is what stuck up on the radars. It's real active, always around the ball, just making things happen. So that's where we left Summer League with. Then Mrs. Hines Cougar testing, she put all this pressure on me. pictures, and color, and everything. I'm looking up there, and you know, she's just spattered all up over there. You know, this girl's an athlete. And so we kept her on, and I think just a pretty typical freshman, just kept getting better, feeling more comfortable. That's a big part of coaching, is making the girls feel comfortable. And got more playing time, and again, felt her in the games.
Are we gonna run the moms? Moms, are you on the line?
Oh, did she stick her tongue out?
No, they are.
Adults would not do that, Kelsey.
I knew them.
Those are little ones. Very athletic. Just a putsy freshman. Has a very bright future. Has a very nice sense of humor about herself. And to peg it down to be serious, which I think I may have gone overboard a little bit when we were in one of the tournament games, but those things happen sometimes. She absorbed it, bounced back, did well, but just had a freshman. Did a great job this year, and 3 more years, I hope, anyway. Yeah, good job, Kelsey. Okay, Miss Haley. Now, I'll start with the grapes here. Taking the girls for an hour and 15 minutes, the cycle is usually, they're talking, they're kind of loud for 15 or 20 minutes, and then a good hunk of them will sleep. And with the earbuds out and with the earbuds and everything, I've always, bus is quiet. You want to listen to music, plug the music in, but give everybody the atmosphere that they want. And a lot of them do want to just sleep, which is a great way to go. So you give them that 15, 20, 25 minutes, giggles, laughs loud, and then just kind of caves down. So we're up to like, just before we're off at going on to 217. So we're above Wilsonville. It's more than 15 or 20 minutes away, or 25 minutes away. And it's getting louder, it's calming down, and I've just kind of I've had enough. I've told them to be quiet a little bit. And I turn around, and there's Haley, and she's I go, should I take your phone? And that was kind of the end of it. It was quiet, and and then of course, then they tell, I don't know, she was trying to take a picture of Kelsey because she had 17 grapes in her mouth. My bad?
21 grapes in her mouth.
Haley, I think playing one of the most enjoyable games was watching the Banks coaches, because to some degree a little bit off the radar, and so we put our lineup in, and they're looking at the girls, who's the point guard, who's doing this, who's doing that. And I think they have their post kid on her, post, their kid's post. And he, after the game, was so funny, because I guess he had never, no clue, and quite complimentary, as every coach was after we played them. But I'm going to say this about Haley, and we're going to talk about her maybe a little bit more later down the road. Haley's best skill set this year, I haven't asked these questions, her best skill set really was here. Yeah, she's skilled and talented. But I've never really had a freshman, and this is kind of a weird deal, a freshman who she wasn't a captain, she wasn't a tagged leader, but kind of a leader of the team. Very composed on the floor. Last year, once again, during Summer League, trying to figure out what she's all about. We're playing Dallas, who's just a total turd. State championship every game. So he's playing to win the world title, and the game is a 1-point game or something, I don't know. And she's posting up, and she's got a girl hanging over this side, and a girl hanging over this side, and one girl giving her a knee in the back, and she's going, wow, that girl, that's good. And that was kind of how she played all year. She made all of her teammates feel good. There's great presence on the floor. Her distribution of the ball, her calmness on the floor was her best skill set. Because I didn't really know where I was going to play. Post, wing, point, I didn't know. But as summer progressed, that was her best spot. And we got juniors and seniors still trying to figure out where to go during what's going on out of the spot they play all the time. And I think as a freshman, she could probably run every position from every set. She may have gotten a little fuzzy on circular arrow from the post spot, but I mean, you don't see that. And so just her, and again, this is where I'm going to go. Her maturity on the basketball floor is crazy. But off the floor, she's just a 14-year-old silly kid. Take a picture of her buddy with 21 grapes in her mouth. Okay, and this is what I think everybody needs to keep in mind, is that out on the floor, she plays and acts like she's, how old are you, 14?
15.
15. When did you turn 15?
February 1st. Oh my God.
Okay. 15 is old. They think that's old. And just on the floor, maturity is just at 25. But she is a 15-year-old little girl off the floor. Silly and fingernails and talking about whatever weird stuff. Got her phone in her pocket up there. And that's something I tried to keep in mind all year long, but just did a great job and kind of let everybody know what was happening. Just thank you very much. And Emma is going to stay.
Award, and it goes to someone who is always called on to be the person who's stopping one of the best kids on the team. And they did a very good job. Not only that, but on the offensive side of things, they were a presence there as well. So a very important player on the court for us was Alex Bennington.
We had the 11 players and the 12 coaches vote, and then we kind of took that into advice and then gave the awards.
So Coach Stevens made the mistake of giving me the opportunity to have an open mic up here as I'm giving the award. So a couple things I want to touch on too. That Cam, you are an exception to the men. The other boys' basketball players are weak. You are strong. And another thing that I want to touch on too. That we are, as a coaching staff, I'm not sure you guys understand how good we have it to have Mark as a head coach and us underneath him learning and growing. And Mark and I talked to a lot of coaches. I run the 4A girls coaches post. I talked to a lot of coaches. And Mark and I were talking to a not to be named coach, and he was talking about some of the issues that he has with the other coaches. He may not coach next year because he's just arguing all the time with them. And that was a tournament team coach, and we just don't have that. We know our role. We do it well. No, but we don't argue with we don't argue and don't we do what we're supposed to do, and that's our job. And one thing that I want to touch on too that Mark may have touched on is Mark always says we'll take all the excuses out for you young players. If you guys want to get better, we'll accommodate that. I had many of you varsity girls call me to get my keys, or I'll meet you down here, open the gym. I think I've probably opened the gym for Alex probably 100 times in the last 4 years. So lots of times, Alyssa. So we'll come down and accommodate that. We'll work with you, and to make your life easier, to make you a better basketball player. So JV girls as well. So anytime this spring or summer, if you want to get in the gym, let one of us know. We'll come down and accommodate that. My award today is the best offensive player. So Haley, come on up.
Oh, okay.
So, a couple things to touch on. I had the honor of coaching her sister too. Great player. and I've told anybody who's listened that her sister was probably one of the most intelligent basketball players that I've ever been around. She saw plays happen two or three moves before everybody else did. I mean, she was a great player, very intelligent. And I see a lot of that in Haley as well. She sees 3 or 4 plays ahead. She'll see where someone's going to be in transition, and she's just a great team player. And to touch on what Mark said too about the Banks coach, when he came over and he was talking to Mark and I, he said, "Who in the blank, 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 blank was that?" He had no idea that she was that good of a player. And he was pretty, I can't repeat what he said, but he was pretty taken aback about how impressive she was as a freshman. So, best offensive player is Haley Wright.
So I'll just take a minute or two just to kind of talk about the team in general. Something similar, they've kind of already heard a little bit about what I'm going to say because I said it after our last game. But this was probably one of the most fun groups that I was able to coach and be a part of. As Coach Stevens alluded to earlier, and even as they were standing up here giggling and whispering to each other, that's kind of how practice has worked. And generally when that happens, the coaches kind of look at each other and we're like, okay, we need to bring this back down to a serious level. But this group was different. There was a different sort of vibe with this group. And this is the busiest that I've been coaching, and I was lucky enough to get to what I did, so I missed like half those long road trips. Bummer. But they made it. There were days that, you know, as everyone up here can allude to, there were just some days where you're just like, oh, this day was just, I mean, it was a long day, and now, you know, it's going to be longer because I have practice. But that wasn't how it was. That was the part of the day that I looked forward to the most. And it was mainly just because I get to work with the best coaching staff in the state. I get to work with these girls who bring it all, every practice, and they're a joy to work with. And each one individually, I think this is the first time I've been able to read most of them. So I walk in the gym, I can kind of get a read on them right away. And there were still a couple, you know, some of the first year varsity players, you still kind of be like, okay, well, we'll get to know each other a little bit first, and then we can start joking around. Which brings me into the award I'm giving out, which is most improved. And Coach Stevens alluded to earlier. Kelsey, why don't you come on up? Kelsey was one of those kids that I still can't get a read quite of, you know, Coach Stevens will be, you know, kind of yelling at her and reaming her, and she's like, he'll be praising her, yeah, nice job, Kelly. It's like, there's no difference there. But she's absolutely deserving of the most improved. Just in practice, you know, you're kind of like, all right, yeah, like, show a little emotion. But then once she gets in the games, she works her tail off, and she's a great player, and she, as Coach Stevens said earlier, has a bright future ahead of her. So, congratulations.
I'm standing in the back and I look at the parents, there's a lot of parents in here that have coaching background. And we talked about the one coaching staff that was at the state tournament. They've had a good year this year, but just not be smooth running ship. And I think football, because of the size of its staff, and football is a little bit more testosterone-y, there's real, you know, it's very territorial. And it's a constant management thing on working with the coaches, and get, you know, at least get along, you know, coordinate, make sure this gets done. And this is we all get along very well. We see each other outside of school, so it's not a big business thing. We're all into hoops. I mean, let's get real. We'd like to think that girls basketball's on everybody's radar, but it's not. It's on our radar big time. It's hard to find, too many outside of that. So, I find it very refreshing when I can talk to somebody that is into girls hoops. And they're all into girls hoops. They're very dedicated to it. I mean, we have a great staff. I mean, you go to awards banquets, okay? You see staffs. We have a great staff. I mean, they're with it. Adults, parents, teachers. They have jobs. They are, and they really care about the girls. Because I've had every coach up here just come and talk to me about, I could work with so-and-so. If so-and-so wants to, I could. And I will reiterate what Coach Newton said. Next March, or next November, or next June, whenever the issue rises, we want to make sure that whatever the reason is, good or bad, they get to own it all. Oh, I want to go in and shoot. Come in and shoot. Okay. Boom, boom. I mean, all of us live within like 7 minutes of school. You want to lift weights? We'll get you in there. Coach Turner has open invitation all summer. That one doesn't work for you. You want to come down on just 2 of you at a time, whatever. Ball handling, whatever. If there's an interest there, we will help to accommodate that. But it has to come from them, and you guys know that. But often, not always, it kind of ends up kind of like what this year was, and it feels really good when the parents are happy and the players are happy and the school and the staff, and it doesn't always go that way. But yeah, very entertaining, fun staff, and we're also into hoops. Okay, kind of put our little awards up here and all that sort of thing, so people can see that. That Max Prep thing, I don't know what that was all about. We were in for a week or something.
Okay, the award I get to present is Most Inspirational. I think this is a huge part of every team, just to have someone always being positive. Hopefully it's more than one person. I can think of several girls that could have got this award this year. But this girl, always cheering on her teammates on the bench, very positive in things outside of school, very happy person. I really enjoy being around her. This award goes to Crystal.
I'm going to embarrass her a little bit. Coach Hine, who is she?
Katie.
It's been just a great hire for our P department, but the girls very much migrate towards her, and it's cool. I gave it out for so many years, and I felt uncomfortable with it every single year. I'm just not really an MVP person. That's not really my personality. It's not of my nature to, who's the best in a team sport. It always just felt awkward. So we got rid of it last year, and we're doing the same thing this year. This kind of took it off former football coach. But it's the best program player. It's the player that just kind of represents us. And we talk about work ethic a lot. We talk about having a good attitude a lot. We talk about being coachable, teachable, whatever. And we talk about integrity a lot. The girl that the kids and the coaching staff felt kind of exemplified what we're all about was Alyssa St. Peter.
don't know that that's what they do.
Oh, Alex. It's not gonna.
There was one more thing that I'm not sure if you guys all know, but he was the Oregon West Coach of the Year this year.
Yes, he
The only reason you get those awards is you have great players who come from somebody out there. You guys know, it's a ripple effect. You don't get individual awards unless you finish up here. You don't get all state stuff unless you get up there. So I appreciate it, but it is all from these folks. So are we out? All right. Make sure you take your stuff home.
Girls, do you have something?
Oh yeah. Oh, no. I did this last year. The freshmen. Thank you, Fred.
Okay, you're welcome.
We speaking of individual awards, I was going there. I think I dismissed you last year without doing these. We did. We had. You've heard this beat before. You nominate. They vote. You can't vote for your own kids. And we got 3 girls on the first team, all conference. Alyssa St. Peter coming back. Which I don't know how many coaches I had say, man, I'm glad she's gone. When they start as a freshman and they're tough, it seems like they're around forever. But other first team all conference was Alex Bennington. Just one of the better shooters we've had, and a great step through. Just got it. Great step through. And boy, just the freshman that has hit the scene. Just lots of complimentary things about her almost every game. She was a unanimous Player of the Year of the Oregon West. I don't remember real well, but I can't remember a freshman ever being Player of the Year, so we'll see what happens next year. Get it right. Now, they do allow coaches to just put kids on honorable mention. I never do that. I never will. I nominate my girls. If they get votes, they're gonna fall someplace, and if they don't, they won't. So Kayla accumulated a number of votes, not a singular, but got a lot of votes, and she was voted honorable mention all conference. Okay, good job. Thank you, Greg. Enjoy your outdoor sports. I'll see you back in the gym where you know what the temperature is in June. Thank you very much.